Hi everyone. Today I have some oral questions and answers for you from the lesson In the Witch's House by C.S. Lewis. I have done the reading and explanation of this very lesson in my last video. And if you have missed that one, then I urge you to watch that one before you come to this one. Here is an easy link to it. So please watch that video, go through the reading and explanation very well. And once you feel that you have understood it, then you can come back to this video and go through the questions and answers with me. I will ask you the questions, give you a few minutes to answer it on your own, and then I will tell you the answer to each question. So you will have the questions as well as the answers. Let's do this together. I hope you are ready to begin. Let's do this together. So here we are with In the Witch's House by C.S. Lewis. And as I told you in my last video, this is an extract from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And if you haven't read this book, then I think you should. You will really enjoy it. It's very interesting. Let's begin with the first part. Now, as I ask you the question, you will see that the answer is right in front of you on the screen. So if you have forgotten the story, here is a little reminder. Let's begin. My first question to you is, why did Edmund not enjoy his dinner that day? The answer, Edmund did not enjoy his dinner that day because he was thinking all the time about Turkish delight. My next question, why did Edmund not enjoy the conversation? The answer, Edmund did not enjoy the conversation because he kept thinking that the others were taking no notice of him and trying to give him the cold shoulder. Of course, that wasn't true, but that's what he thought. Now look at this slide while I ask you my next question. Which part of the conversation did Edmund not hear? The answer, Edmund did not hear Mr. Beaver telling the children that the White Witch wasn't really human at all, but half a djinn and half a giantess. My next question, why did Edmund not hear this part of the conversation? The answer, Edmund did not hear this part of the conversation because he had left the room by then. Let's go to the next slide. It's all in front of you to help you. My next question, why did Edmund like the White Witch? Edmund liked the White Witch because she had offered him Turkish delight and promised to make him prince someday and later a king. And she had always been nice to him. The next question, did Edmund actually want his brother and sisters to be turned into stone? No, Edmund did not actually want his brother and sisters to be turned into stone. Look at this slide now. Why did Edmund turn up his collar and try to keep himself warm? What was he missing? The answer, Edmund did not have his coat with him because he had left it behind in the beaver's house. Let's go on. What helped Edmund to find his way in the dark? The answer, the moon. The moonlight helped Edmund find his way in the dark. The next question. Where did Edmund see the White Witch's house? The answer, Edmund saw the White Witch's house on the other side of the river, quite close to him, in the middle of a little plain between two hills. The next question. What did the White Witch's house look like? The answer, the White Witch's house was really a small castle. It seemed to be all towers, little towers with long pointed spires on them, sharp as needles. They looked like huge dunce's caps or sorcerer's caps. Now look at this slide. Okay, shall we go on? The next question. What did Edmund see that made his heart stop beating? The answer? Edmund saw an enormous lion inside the gate with the moonlight shining on it. Now look at this one. How do we know that Edmund was terrified of the lion he saw? The answer, Edmund was terrified of the lion because he stood in the shadow of the arch, afraid to go on and afraid to go back, with his knees knocking together. And it also says that he stood there so long that his teeth would have been chattering with cold, even if they had not been chattering with fear. All these lines tell us that Edmund was terrified of the lion he saw. Let's move on. How did Edmund plan to escape the lion? The answer, when Edmund moved a little closer to the lion, he saw that the lion was not looking at him at all. It was facing a little dwarf. So Edmund thought that when the lion sprang at the dwarf, he would get his chance to escape. The next slide now. This is my question to you. What made Edmund think that the lion he was looking at was made of stone? The answer, Edmund thought that the lion he was looking at was made of stone because it was standing very still and had not moved at all since he had got there. And the lion was covered with snow. Edmund knew that no living animal would have let itself get covered with snow. The next slide. Who did Edmund think the lion was? The answer, Edmund thought that the lion there was the great lion Aslan that everyone spoke about. He believed that the White Witch had probably caught the lion and turned it into stone. The next slide. What did Edmund do to the stone lion? The answer: Edmund took a stump of lead pencil out of his pocket and scribbled a moustache on the lion's upper lip and then a pair of spectacles on its eyes. Let's move on. Name some of the animals that Edmund saw in the courtyard. The answer: Edmund saw stone satyrs, stone wolves, bears, foxes, cat, a centaur, a winged horse, and something that looked like a dragon. The next question. What did Edmund see across the threshold up the flight of stone steps? The answer: Edmund saw a great wolf across the threshold. And now to the next slide. Why did Edmund think that the wolf was stone? The answer: Edmund thought that the wolf was a stone wolf or that it was made of stone because all the other animals he had just seen were made of stone. The next question. How did Edmund realize that the wolf was not made of stone? The answer: Edmund realized that the wolf was not made of stone because when he tried to cross over the wolf rose with all the hair bristling along its back and opened his great red mouth and growled. The next question. What did Edmund tell the wolf? The answer: Edmund told the wolf that he was the son of Adam and he had met the White Witch in the woods a few days ago. He had come here to meet the White Witch to tell her that his brother and sisters were now in Narnia because she had wanted to see them. The next slide. Who was the wolf? The answer: the wolf was Mogrim, the chief of the witches' secret police. The next slide. What was the gloomy hall like? The answer: the gloomy hall was filled with pillars, like the courtyard, and also filled with statues. The next question. What animal did Edmund see? The answer: Edmund saw a little fawn with a very sad expression on its face. The next question. Was the White Witch happy to see Edmund, and why? The answer: the White Witch was not happy to see Edmund. She was very angry. She was angry because he had come alone. What did Edmund tell the White Witch? Edmund repeated everything he had heard at the beaver's house. Who got the sledge ready for the witch? The answer, the dwarf got the sledge ready for the witch. And my last question for this lesson. Why did the witch use the harness without bells? Use your imagination for this one. The answer, let's see if you got this one. The witch used the harness without bells because she did not want anyone to know that she was coming. Got it? So how did you do in this lesson? How did you do in all the questions? Did you get most of the answers right? Well, if you did, that's very good. And if you didn't, there's no problem. All you have to do is read the lesson again, try and understand it, and then come back to this video and go through all the questions all over again. I'll end now. Thanks for being with me, and we'll meet again very soon. Until then, do take care of yourselves. Cheerio.